All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. This is from AlternativeFinanceNews.com, and as you can see, this was published on November 21st. It says NYC officials confirm second city lockdown by December 1st. All right. It says inside sources have confirmed that New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is expected to declare a full NYC second lockdown by December 1st, though this order may come as early as Tuesday. The writing has been on the wall for a while now, especially after NYC Mayor Bill de Blasio announced a full shutdown of all New York City schools. All right, and I mean, it was expected, all right, that at some point they're going to start this lockdown again. All right, speaking on this whole dark winter and cases rising, and basically building the in their eyes a suitable setting for the vaccine to really shine. You know, so that goes into these lockdowns now. Concerning the severity of this second lockdown, all right, we have to see how they play with the numbers and how draconian they take it. Okay. It says New York City has reached the 3% testing positivity 7-day average threshold. Unfortunately, this means public school buildings will be closed as of tomorrow, Thursday, November 19th. Out of an abundance of caution, we must fight back the second wave of COVID-19, which there was an article that was mentioning, I forgot who it was, but he was basically mentioning that based on how, people or these countries handle this second wave, there could be a third wave if they don't handle the second wave correctly. Says de Blasio also gave a cryptic warning to all NYC to prepare for a NYC lockdown sometime after Thanksgiving. Okay, because now what are they anticipating? They said they warned people, they advised them against traveling for Thanksgiving. They advised them, or they basically try to mandate it to where there were limitations on the Thanksgiving get-togethers. All right, but it doesn't seem to have been people didn't take heed to that. So what they're saying is there's a lot of people still traveling for Thanksgiving, and that is going to be a justification for them to spike up the numbers. More and more people have contracted it. The level of which, all right, like it says here, the positivity rate, which is supposed to be under a certain percentage, is now over it. So now they have to lock things back down. It says Governor Cuomo warned NYC of the second lockdown on Thursday. In his press conference this afternoon, Governor Cuomo announced that all of New York City would become an orange zone if its citywide positivity rate hits 3%. Under this microcluster strategy, indoor dining and high-risk non-essential businesses like gyms and personal care services would close. Yet again. Schools would also close, but during the governor's press conference, New York City Chancellor Richard A. Carranza sent an email to principals that schools would close and go to virtual learning as of tomorrow, as the New York Times first reported. NYC has surpassed these positivity rates. Is that since this press conference on Thursday, NYC has hit an average positivity rate just over 3%, with 40 zip codes over 4%, and multiple neighborhoods in Brooklyn and Queens reporting positivity rates as high as 9%. All right, so they already have their justification there. And it's a trend. It starts here, next city here, next state, next state. Next thing you know, the lockdowns are back in place, and it's once again these elites, they deal with gradualism, slowly but surely. All right, the intensity picks up. It may go at a slow rate, but it picks up. But as we're seeing, all right, pursuant to Revelation 12 and 12, they're coming down with great wrath, meaning they're gonna start speeding things up. Okay, especially now, with the vaccine, what, weeks away? So with these lockdowns, all right, it seems as though what they're doing is lock it down, and then the only justification to allow you out of lockdown is if you've been vaccinated. That gives them that little leverage they can use over people. Oh, well, you don't want to get vaccinated, you stay at home, you stay in lockdowns then. Just like they were doing with the masks. They say you don't want to wear masks, lockdown stay. You don't want to follow these social distancing rules, you stay in lockdown. Says, what does orange zone mean? As you can see, stay home, stop the spread. Right now, subways are for essential travel only. Now, one thing, all right, which I do suspect is basically what they're doing in some European countries is where if they see you outside, well, they'll give you a, like it says, essential travel, or they'll give you maybe a list of reasons as to why you can be out, and they'll have people out making sure that if they do see you outside, it is for one of those reasons, and you're gonna need to have valid proof. They might need to say if you're going here, all right, give us the proof, da 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 da, you know, because you gotta understand that basically the way they handled the first lockdown didn't really do anything to the virus. So in their minds, it's like, well, now we gotta make it more severe, which they've wanted to do that for the longest. It's all orchestrated, all right. Says after Cuomo said orange zone only means high risk non-essential businesses, de Blasio went ahead and shut down all public schools. At this point, NYC residents should expect the term orange zone to be an attempt at sounding like lockdown light. It says, but when NYC second lockdown is announced, New Yorkers should not expect any differences from the first one or any less chaos after its announcement. Well, you might want to expect some differences because it might be more severe. It depends. All right, we got to see how they play with these numbers. What you need to do to prepare. Now, check this out. If everybody is told to stay at home, everybody's under lockdown, that makes it much easier if they decide they want to have troops go door to door. If everybody's in their house, it's much easier to find and get people, you know, in terms of vaccination. It says, same as last time, don't lose your mind. It's not the end of the world, but be prepared. No, but it is the end of the world. All right, it actually is the end of the world. All right, let me just hold this precept here on deck. Um, Matthew 24. Okay, it says, and also, let's get this in second Esdras. Second Esdras. All right, so it says, make sure you are stocked on all essential supplies, canned foods, paper towels, etc. Expect hysteria to take over again as people race to stores to clear the shelves. If making a hair appointment is important to you, do it now. Salons have already seen a major spike in appointments. If you still commute to the office, stop leaving things overnight under the assumption you can grab them the next morning. Overnight, and let's not forget what the CDC said, all right, a couple weeks, I believe a month or so ago, where they mentioned how parents should prepare, all right, for their children to have a unexpected overnight stay at school, you know, something along those lines. But as they're saying, they've closed down, certain schools, all right, if all of them. So we're gonna see, man. But they're not gonna let this crisis go to waste, and they have said it out of their own mouth. All right, so it says, overnight the announcement could come out. Leave your laptop or any other essentials locked in your building if you cannot gain access. Buy a thermometer. They will be impossible to find again soon, as they are an easy way to calm your nerves if you are worried you have contracted COVID but do not want to go outside to a testing center. Take out cash. Things in New York City will be strange this winter. Even banks are cutting branches. If you don't have a safe box with some extra cash in your house, now might be the time to consider investing in one. If you own a small business or will lose work from a second shutdown, be sure to find a second stream of income ASAP. All right, because based on how the first lockdown was, and then that did damage to the economy, but the economy never healed from that. No, contrary to what the stocks look like, and the economy hasn't healed from that, and now they're going into a second lockdown. So let's see how that plays out. But as it was said in here, this is not the end of the world. It actually is. Let's get two precepts. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9. All right, and if you're looking, because the Lord did give us signs of the end of the world, and if you're looking, okay, you will be able to tell, all right, that we are at the end. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Okay, and that's what I said by, that's what I meant by looking. Let's look up the word diligent. It says having or showing care or conscientiousness in one's work or duty, hard working, particular, okay, rigorous, all right, basically being on top of it, all right, being on it, watching, and that's what we do. It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, okay, and if you go to Matthew the 24th chapter, you'll see the different signs the Lord told his disciples. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And what is that? The day of the Lord, and aka the end of this age. All right, and the word age in the Greek eon can be translated into English as world. So technically, it is the end of the world. All right, but the world in the sense of an age. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, are we not seeing that? There's constant uproars everywhere. You know, anti-lockdown protests, anti-this protest. This year is the whole world is in chaos. All right. It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Okay? The end is manifest, and we're seeing that right now. Now this is the book of Matthew chapter 24, and I'm just going to go straight to the point. Verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, that he is talking about Yahushua, the Messiah. It says, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, his second return, and of the end of the world? So let's look at what the Lord told his disciples to look out for that will indicate what the end of the world is going to be like. And let's see if we see that happening today. It says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And that's been happening since 2,000 years ago, since he left. Okay? And we've really been in the last days since 2,000 years ago. All right? But now we're in the latter part of the last days. All right? What's that? Hebrews 1. Let's let this load. Okay, we'll come back to it. All right. Nonetheless, we see this going on then and even now. All right, people, coming as though they have the truth, coming as though they are in the spirit of the Lord. All right, but really they're there to deceive many. These pastors, all right, certain Israelite groups. Okay, there's so many of them around that is the path of the truth has become very narrow. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And are we not hearing of wars and rumors of wars? All right, a couple years ago, you heard the whole situation with North Korea. Then the U.S. launched them Tomahawk missiles in Syria. All right. Then you had the U.S. killed the Iranian general in the beginning of this year. Okay. Now you have they're saying that U.S. and Israel, all right, are basically setting things up, and there's rumors that Trump might try to attack Israel or start some form, not Israel, Iran, all right, or start some form of what's the word I'm looking for? You could say trouble, for lack of a better word, with Iran before he leaves office. That's a rumor of war. Okay, World War III, we're hearing rumors of World War III this whole time. And on top of that, there are actual wars going on. Okay, and this is all happening right now. See that ye be not troubled, For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So these are all signs leading to what? That ultimate end, that destruction. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Are we not seeing that now? Okay. You have different kingdoms coming against each other, as well as different nations in terms of people coming against each other. All right. You have so-called blacks against whites. You have different, as it tells you in the book of Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, one people shall stand up to fight against another. Democrats against Republicans. These are all prophetic signs. And there shall be famines. All right, which there's famines going on in the world right now, but you have the UN, I believe it was the UN that came out and said in 2021 we should prepare for famines of biblical proportions. You have long ass lines to food pantries, okay, and the lines are getting longer and longer because that food scarcity is coming, man. It's really here, but it's escalating. It says in pestilences, all right. You have the coronavirus, all right, which is a form of pestilence. You have the brother Yashalam did a video basically on a mystery illness that had was spreading in Africa. Okay, and you have all matter of different diseases that are out there. There was talks about the Black Plague, the bubonic plague resurfacing, and this is only what the beginning of sorrows. Oh, as it says in the next verse, it says, "And earthquakes in diverse places." All these are the beginning of sorrow. So what we're seeing is the beginning of famines, the beginning of pestilence, the beginning of all these different things. But it hasn't hit its peak just yet. Okay? So these are all examples, all right, of signs that were to happen at the end. And there's more, all right, but you can read that on your own. All right, but just a quick precept going into that, man. So, in contradiction to what this article said about, it's not the end of the world. Actually, it is. We are at the end of the world. Okay? Don't lose your mind. It's not the end of the world. No, it is the end of the world. All right? And people are going to see that very soon because we are rapidly approaching that time of Jacob's trouble. All right? So with that, I hope you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.